What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mod Squad Network's Conversations with the Mod Squad. I'm your host, Kevin, always joined by Felix.
What's up?
And our guest this week is Josh Spiegel from Movie Timelines and the director of the last Amityville movie. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. Thanks for having me on it. It's always a blast talking.
Not a problem. The first question I like to ask is, what is the movie timeline and how did that start? But I got to follow up with it as well. If no one's aware, what is the last Amityville movie about?
Yeah. So the Movie Timelines, the channel, began as me watching the Friday the 13th movies one day, just sitting down and saying, like, yeah, I'm going to watch all of them. And I just watched them. And in the second movie, they say, like, there's a character who says like 5 years ago, and it popped into my head. It was just like, oh, that's weird. It came out like a year later, and they did a 5-year time jump. That's interesting. And then the next couple of movies took place over the same weekend, and then another movie had like a 10-year jump. And then I just started wondering. I was just like, I wonder how many years have passed like in total through these movies. And I sat down and I started to calculate it, and I thought it'd be a fun video. I was doing a web series with my wife at that point, a food web series, and we had just stopped doing it because she just didn't have the time to do it. And I wanted to do something new, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do this Friday the 13th video, and it was a lot of fun. So I just continued on and just watching whole franchises and trying to figure out the timeline of how they all fit together and what continuity changes from entry to entry and how much time takes place. So that was kind of where it started, and it has evolved quite a bit since then. There's been so many different things that have that the channel has kind of turned into since then, and it's now become more of sort of this history of horror, as I've done the 80s project, where I'm doing a series where I've been watching every single horror movie released in the 1980s, and it's been a project. It's probably gonna take close to 10 years to do. I'm just starting 1983 right now. So, and I've been doing it for 2 years. So it's been it's a long haul kind of a thing. And then along the way, I made the last Amityville movie, which was done as sort of a dare, I guess. I had been covering a lot of the unofficial Amityville movies, and I had discussions with a lot of the directors that had done a lot of the unofficial Amityville movies. And the more I talked to them, I just kind of said, like, why, you can do one of these. Let's just do it. So we just decided it would be a fun thing to try. Raised up some money via Indiegogo. Came up with a script that I thought was very funny and sort of meta, but also kind of earnest, and just decided to give it a shot. And we filmed it right here at my house. I'm basically the main character in it. My wife is in it. A lot of people are in it playing themselves, real people. But we really tried to make it still pretty fun and interesting, and still kind of try to make it a little scary.
Very cool. All right, so what your fans about this show, if your fans don't already know, is what this is all about is letting your fans get to know you, but more on a personal, lighthearted type of way. We'll start off with some word association. I'll ask you some thought-provoking, and we'll end with some this or that rapid fire. Let's go ahead and start off with some word association questions. Take it away, Felix.
All right, man. Just going to throw out words, just whatever pops into your mind. Western.
Cowboys.
Hero.
I think Captain America. Maybe I'm old school, but that's my go-to guy.
It. Desire.
More bad movies. A never-ending stock of bad movies to watch is like my number one desire.
Network.
Avoid them. Generally don't watch network stuff. It's not really. I'm not a TV guy, so and when I do watch TV, it's certainly nothing from a network.
Storm.
Halle Berry.
Good answer, man.
It popped into my head.
I like it. Adventure.
Adventure. I guess I keep on. The only thing that popped into my head is Superman. I feel like I keep coming back to superheroes, but all I can think about with adventure is is adventure comics,
Yeah,
and I
just
know
Disney
Superman's
Kevin,
action
but
comics,
that's
but
about it.
Yeah.
I should be thinking of Batman because Batman has adventure comics and Superman has action comics. But when you say adventure, Superman pops into my head, and I have no reason
That's
why.
cool.
But all right.
Horror.
Jeez. First thing I think about is just how much, just my entire life. I feel like so much of my life is based around horror and horror movies and horror actors and everything to do with it.
All right. Bizarre.
Bizarre, man. I would say Bizarre is going to be The Forbidden Zone is the first thing that pops into my head, which
Okay.
is the movie by Richard Elfman, Danny Elfman's brother. It's one of my favorite weird, bizarre, strange movies.
Memory.
I don't really have one.
You and me both.
Here we're talking little known facts and personal facts. This is, I guess, this is a little long tangent, but I don't have a memory before approximately the ages of 15 or 16.
Really?
My entire life before that point, I do not really remember. I can have fleeting memories of it. Like occasionally something will pop up in my head and I'll be like, oh yeah, oh geez, I remember that. But if my mom calls me and like says, do you remember when we went here when you were 9 years old? And if I try to access a memory, I can't access the memory. So it's a weird thing I have.
It's weird. Fear.
Falling. I am deathly afraid of heights. I do not ever want to be. I hate being on tall buildings. I hate flying in airplanes. That's my big fear.
And my last one, cheeseburger.
Man, I love food. I love all food. Cheeseburgers are amazing. I am sort of dieting right now. I have to get my cholesterol levels down.
Sounds damn good, huh?
And yeah, and I would love a cheeseburger, but I cannot because I'm trying to lower that cholesterol.
Oh, I like it. So cholesterol would be the thought that comes to mind.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. My first question actually is, and to follow up on Felix's hamburger, is a hot dog a sandwich?
You know what? This is an interesting thing that I think. To me, sure, why not? And I think it's one of those things that I always think is kind of silly to argue because we we define things ourselves, right? And it's kind of like if you don't think a hot dog is a sandwich, that's cool. It doesn't have to be. I think a lot of stuff we get so wrapped up in these like definitions of and things, and it's kind of not really the point. It should be more along the lines of what you individually think. So if you think that a hot dog is a sandwich, then yeah, why not? It certainly fits the description of one. But if you don't think a hot dog is a sandwich because it also sort of doesn't fit this description of one, I got no problems with that. I'm very much a your opinion is cool guy, even if it's not the same as mine.
I like that. That was very well thought out. You're still wrong. A hot dog is not a sandwich. I say it's stuffed bread. That's what a hot dog is. It's stuffed bread.
That is a fitting definition as well, too.
All right, and when I think of hot dogs, though, I think of like going to a sporting event or just an event in general. I love wrestling. I love going to wrestling events because when that wrestler comes through the curtain and his theme song hits, you know exactly who he is and what he's all about. If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what would it be?
Geez. If I had a theme song and walked into a room, I would want it to be probably the Flash Gordon theme. But since that's Flash's theme and it's like not really my theme, it kind of feels mean to like do that. So the music I'm going to give you is insanely obscure, but it pops into my head a lot, and it's this really cool piece of music. There's a very strange comedy film from the early 80s called Jekyll and Hyde Together Again. and it is a weird movie about a guy who turns into a party animal version of Jekyll every time that he accidentally snorts a potion that he made that looks suspiciously like cocaine. And the first time he transforms, there's this really kick-ass guitar riff that plays as he's changing, and that music is in my head so much of the time. Anytime that I think I'm doing something cool, that's what plays. So that's what my theme music would be, is the transformation theme from Jekyll and Hyde together again.
I like it. That's definitely different, for sure.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
We're gonna stick with we're gonna stick with music here. What is your guilty pleasure car karaoke song? You know, that one that you kind of roll the windows up and crank the music up, but you're kind of embarrassed that you sing as loud as you can?
Well, man, if you're asking about karaoke is very important to me. Me and my wife, our first date was to karaoke. I love doing karaoke. I have no qualms about singing in front of people, so I don't really have anything that I'm embarrassed to sing out in front of people, because I've done so many like ridiculous songs. I have karaoke'd "Single Ladies" by Beyonce. I have karaoke'd "Suddenly Seymour" as the Audrey parts. I don't really have anything that I'm kind of embarrassed about, but I would say I think the silliest one that I can do at the drop of a hat is "Rhythm of the Night" by El DeBarge.
Ooh, it's the rhythm of the night.
No, it's the beat of the rhythm of the night. That one.
Oh, that one. That one. Okay. I got them mixed up. We're going to stay in the car. What is the farthest you've ever traveled from home for vacation?
For vacation. So the furthest I've ever traveled from home, sadly, I haven't traveled as much as I would have loved to. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I now live in Los Angeles. The furthest I've ever traveled was to go cross country to live. I have not yet left the continent. I have left the country. I've been to Canada, been to Mexico, but I've never left the continent, which is on my roster to do for later this year, hopefully. But the furthest I've ever been for vacation is down to Puerto Vallarta, which is about halfway down in Mexico, which was probably one of the nicest vacations I've ever taken. It was so gorgeous, and I would go back there again in a heartbeat.
Very cool. Very cool. But that's in miles. How about time? If you could travel 10 years to the past or 10 years to the future, but only for 24 hours, which way would you go and why?
Am I in the same body, or am I back into my 10 years ago form?
It's you. You're you now.
Okay, so I'm just transporting there.
Yes.
I would probably want to go back. I probably want to go 10 years into the future, because I've already seen, 10 years ago in the past, and 10 years ago in my past was pretty cool. I don't think I would really change my 10 years ago, and it's not really, I don't think I would give myself any warnings or anything like that, but and I think I'd go to check out 10 years in the future and see what things are like, and see how things are going to be, mainly so that I could help my daughter kind of figure out what she needs to do to prep.
I like that a lot. All right, how about a little color theory? What would you describe the color purple to a blind man? How would you describe the color purple to a blind man?
I would simply play Prince's greatest hits, then say, "That's purple."
I like it. That's like
That
the
was
perfect
exactly
answer.
my answer.
It's like the perfect answer.
Yeah.
All right, how about a little comedy? What is the funniest thing to ever happen to you that you can legally talk about?
Oh my God. The funniest thing that's ever happened to me. That's, man. That's a stumper. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to me? Damn. I'm sorry. I'm coming up a blank here. The funniest thing that I could legally talk about. Man, is it weird? Is it weird that I can't really think of anything? Okay, here's something that has happened to me. All right, this is a story I told the other day, so it's fresh in my mind. I was part of a management conference in Las Vegas. I got to go on a trip, and after the conference, they had us go do a scavenger hunt thing out on the Las Vegas Strip, and
That's pretty cool.
yeah, and most of it was kind of simple stuff, but then there was a bunch of bonus things where you can get bonus points. Most of it was like find and take a picture of this, find and take a picture of this, but there were like some bonus ones. And like the biggest one was to get up on stage and sing karaoke. And we just happened to walk into this karaoke place, and they were just starting, and they were just like, all right, we're going to start taking karaoke. So if anyone wants to, and I lucked out and was able to be the first one up. And I just my entire team was arguing, and they're just like, no, we're not doing karaoke. It's just like, all right, fine. And I just walked up to the guy, handed him a thing, went up on stage, was the very first person in the night to sing karaoke. And there was like a pretty decent crowd. There's like 150 people in the crowd. And I'm just jumping up there, did the Darkness, believe in a thing called love. And had the entire place immediately jumped up and was like running up and like laughing and dancing. The people came up on stage, we're all singing together. It was like really insane, fun moment. I guess not funny, but it was just such a great fun time that happened. So it was cool.
I like it though. I like it. It don't have to be totally funny. It could just be fun.
Yeah.
I like that. If you were to poll your family and friends, what would they say you're most known for?
Oh man. If you polled my family, they would say I'm most known for arguing with them. My family gets a different side of me than most other people. I think if you talk to my friends, what they would say I'm the most known for is mostly like just enjoying and like loving to talk about movies, which is clearly something that has affected my life in general. I think my family would agree that that's kind of the thing that I enjoy the most, and they would know that. My mom still to this day, like even now, it's just like she'll be like, "What's that movie where this happened?" And because she knows that I know. So much that we made a joke about that in the last Amityville movie. There's a joke about my mom texting me to ask me some random horror movie question, which happens, and like she'll just text me to be like, "I'm watching this on Tubi. It's terrible." And I'm like, "I've seen it."
I'm a comic book guy. Superman is my hero of choice. If you had a superhuman power, though, what would it be, and would you use it for good or evil?
I can pick any superhero character.
You can pick any superhuman power.
Oh, okay. Can I just use the cheat code and say that I want the Beyonders powers? Is that a cheat code?
Yeah. Hey, if you know it and you can use it, use it.
You know what? Actually, I take it back because there is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially in today's society. And I think if I could choose any specific power, I would choose the power of Jesse Custer at this particular point, with the ability to speak and make people do things. Because there's a lot of people that I would like to use that on and say, "Hey, tell the truth." And
Fact.
I would like to use that ability. I feel like there's a lot of I would, no matter what power I have. I mean, I do try my damnedest to be a good person, and I would absolutely use my power for the greater good, even if that meant some people with a lot of money having to give up some of that to help out the people that need it.
I like that. So more of an anti-hero.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Although it should be a hero.
Yes.
In today's society, for some reason, we call
it definitely should be a hero.
Yeah.
As I stated, I like Superman. It's my media. Comics is my media of choice. But what single piece of media, whether it be book, movie, or TV show, has had the most influence on the person you are today?
That's a good question, because there's a lot of media that I really enjoy and love more than anything else, and one of them is right there, which is Jaws, my favorite movie of all time. Although I don't feel as if that's like influenced who I am. It's just a movie that I've really loved. I would say that if there is a specific piece of media that has shaped who I am, Um, and I guess this will reflect a little bit towards earlier. It is Captain America comic books, which I grew up reading. Cap was always my favorite character. Um, and it's strange because I'm not a patriotic guy. I'm not like go America. Like, I'm certainly happy to be American. I'm happy to live here and everything like that, but I'm not blindly nationalistic to the point of just like everything about America is great and everything else sucks. And that's what I've always loved about Captain America is Captain America was always about doing what is right for the people and doing what is right for the American dream, as opposed to doing what is right for America, the country, just as a thing. And that was always a big part of his books in the 70s and 80s, was that whole notion. Like, there was a point where the government just wanted to force him to do that, and Captain America was about the people and not about just what people told him to do. And that was a big part of me growing up. It was a big shaping part of, I think, who I am and what I want to be. And I do like to think that if I could fight for something, it would be for helping the people.
I like it. I like it a lot. And I think that they got him right pretty much in the movies as well.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah. And speaking of movies, if your life was a movie, what would the title be and who would play you?
If my life was a movie, it would not be that interesting. My life as a movie would be probably called Standard Suburban White Dude. Because my life is, I have to admit, my life has not been, I don't have a tragic backstory. I don't have more trauma than most people. I've had a pretty good life. I don't really think it would make for that interesting of a movie. But it would probably just be called the stereotypical suburban white guy, because that is basically my life story. And if I could have somebody play me, I would choose Phil Fondacaro, who would probably not fit me, but I think he's a great actor, and I love him. He's the little person actor that has been in Ghoulies 2 and the great movie The Creeps, where he was supposed to comedically play a little person Dracula, but instead he actually played it extremely seriously and was one of the best Draculas on film, period. And I think that he would make me way more interesting than I am.
Just a little mini you, if you will.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I like that. I love movies, though. One of my favorite movies is Castaway, where he's stranded on the desert island. If you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you take with you and why?
Man, if I was stranded on a desert island, I would take with me, can they be people? If they're people, I would probably have my wife and daughter with me for company, because they are entertaining.
But then you're really not stranded. I'm just saying.
I guess. All right. Well, so if we eliminate people,
yeah.
If we eliminate people, I would want my iPad, and I would want a box with internet access, a mobile internet access box.
That's fair.
For entertainment, and an umbrella, because I burn.
Shade is needed. Shade is definitely needed. If you could switch lives with someone for a day, who would it be and why?
Jesus. I guess I would probably switch lives with Jeff Bezos. I mean, if I'm going to switch lives with somebody, I'm going to switch with the richest person on the freaking planet, and then I'm going to spend all of his money to improve things and basically find every single problem that I can and throw money at it until it is fixed, because the guy has enough money to fix like 75% of the kind of problems that we have going on right now, and just isn't.
Right.
So that's what I would do. I would switch places with him and spend his money far more wisely than he is.
I like it. I like it. And the last couple questions I have is, what are your 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year goals?
Um, it's funny. I'm gonna switch into my other persona right now because my day-to-day job is actually as a retail store manager. Like I actually manage clothing stores. And whenever I go on interviews, I get asked the question about like where do you see yourself in this amount of years? And I've never been a guy that has set goals for myself like that. So my 1, 5, and 10 year goal is all the same thing, and it is just to consistently be better. Um, it's no matter what I'm doing, no matter at what point that I've reached, I just would like to be better at it. Whether it's more skills, whether it's I'm making videos, but the videos that I'm making are consistently better and more entertaining. Whether it's just me as a human being, whether or not I'm like being better, whether I'm helping more people, whether I'm doing more things, being more active, spending more time with my kid and my wife, and just doing that. And I just consistently want to improve. Like I never want to hit a point and think, I'm done. This is where I want to be. So I'm done now. I just would like to, in 1 year, I want to be better than I am now, just in general. 5 years, I'd like to keep improving upon that and be better then. 10 years, same. Just I want to be better than I was at the 5 year gap. I want to be enjoying more things. I want to be
I like it.
living life to its fullest even more.
That's probably the best answer anybody could give, really, to tell you the truth. And the last question I have is, if you took center stage to the world and you had everybody by their ear, what would your message be?
What would my message be? Watch The Last Amityville on Tubi.com. No.
Do it.
No, honestly, and again, I'm trying to, I'm really trying to, because you had said earlier in the beginning about on a more personal level and kind of being more person level, and I'm trying to stick to that because a lot of the interviews that I've been doing have been more about the channel and videos and movies and such like that. And so I'm kind of trying to stay away from here. And I think if I was going to convey one thing to the world that is kind of personal level, but is also sort of channel level, is that I really wish that this whole like angry and like thing would just go away. Because
Agreed.
what I could tell the entire world is that I used to be a lot angrier of a person when I was younger, and at some point in life I just let it all go. And I feel as if now I try not to get angry about stuff. I try not to hold on to these like bitter feelings. When people have different opinions, I'm cool with it. It's like, it's fine, because things that you like are different than other people like. The way that other people live is different than the way that I live, and all of that is good, and there's no reason to be mad about it. Like,
Agreed.
I don't understand why there's this need to be like, well, I don't like what you're doing. I think that's wrong, so therefore I'm mad about it and I'm so angry. And a lot of people like push that towards media and like movies they're watching and TV shows and just people in general. And there's so much of this like venom that I see, and I see it a lot in my comments whenever there's a specific movie that comes up or something. People get very, very angry about it, and a lot of times when it comes to a show or a movie or something like that, and I see people that are like at the point of death threats and like this anger, I just want to say, hey, what I want you to understand is what you're mad about is a person that is trying to entertain you and failed. That's what you're angry about. That's what you're so upset about, is someone was just like, I want to make this thing that people enjoy, and you didn't enjoy it. That's not worth it. It's just not worth it, and I wish I could tell everyone to just let that go.
Yeah. Just chill the hell out, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm telling you, as somebody that has been there, it is so much easier to not be upset about all these things.
I fully agree. I try to be that way myself. I definitely try to be laid back. We're going to finish this off with some rapid fire this or that, though, and Felix is going to handle this section. So go ahead, Felix, take it away.
Got it.
All right, man. Just pick one. Is the term gift or GIF?
It's GIF.
Thank you. Android or Apple?
Apple? That's what I mean,
Question
all
mark?
my stuff is Apple. Well, I'm not like super, like, my stuff is Apple, but I'm not Apple or nothing.
Gotcha.
I have Apple, but if Android made something really kick ass tomorrow, I'd be like, that's cool. I'd get that too. Whatever.
All right. DC or Marvel?
Marvel, but a little bit of both, but Marvel.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince. Well, easy. Prince. Anybody? Prince.
Yeah.
Except maybe if it was Prince David Bowie, then you got a battle. But
It's close.
other than that, yeah.
Pineapple and pizza, yes or no?
Yes. Yeah, why not? It's good.
Interview's over.
Well, but here's another secret. If you had basically said any food, I'm a trash panda with food. I like anything with food. I love food.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox? I don't have either, but I used to have an Xbox, so I guess there you go.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Cats. They're both cool, but I have cats. I enjoy both of them. Just my lifestyle's hard for dogs.
Checkers or chess?
Chess.
That's what's up. Books or ebooks?
Ebooks for me, just for ease of access. But damn, do I like books. But I find myself reading ebooks more frequently.
Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees?
Jason. If we're talking about the characters, Jason.
All right.
Halloween is a better movie than any Friday the 13th will ever be.
Thank you.
But in terms of a character, I like Jason way more.
And my last one, homemade, soft, or hard tacos?
Ooh. All of the above. I'll go with soft. I think I would probably choose soft first. I just had soft tacos a little bit ago, so I guess I'll go with soft tacos. They're both awesome, though.
Very cool. Usually we like to end it there, but since you're a horror guy, I got to ask you, what is your Mount Rushmore of horror icons?
Man. Okay. Well, I mean, you've got to have the big three on there. I mean, it's silly to not say that this entire genre isn't dependent upon Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers. Those are like the big guns. Unless you wanted to go further back and put, Drac and Frank and the Mummy up there. But for me, from my era, it's you've got Jason up there, one of the most identifiable characters out there. You've got Freddy Krueger up there, easily one of the best characters that horror has ever given us, period. You've got Michael Myers out there, who has given you one of the best horror movies out there, period. Because Halloween, I steal this quote from my friend Derek all the time. He says that Friday the 13th is one of the best franchises in terms of like being consistently entertaining. Nightmare on Elm Street gives you the best character because no character is better than Freddy Krueger, but Halloween is giving you the best movie, hands down, because the first Halloween movie is better than anything in any of those other films. And I agree. And those three guys are up there. But on my personal Mount Rushmore, I'm going to go with the five heads. I put the Tall Man up there from the Phantasm movies because those movies are amazing.
Crap out of me.
Yep, and those movies do not get talked up enough. And also, Angus was a complete and utter charmer when I met him. Great guy. And of course, any Mount Rushmore of horror icons would be incomplete without, you can't see it up there, but it would be complete without Ash. A little bit of Bruce Campbell as Ash up there as well too, because you gotta have a good guy up there.
Gotta have somebody, yeah. Gotta have a good one. All right. The last thing we have for you, man, is do you have anything coming up that you would like to promote, and where can people find your channel and your movie?
Sure. There's a lot happening right now. It's a busy time. You can find me on YouTube on Movie Timelines. There's videos up every single Friday and most Mondays as well too. And beyond that, you can check out my movie, The Last Amityville Movie, which is on Tubi to watch for free with ads, or you can go on Vudu or Amazon Prime and watch it, rent it with no ads. You can also buy it there as well. Beyond that, I have several books that you can buy, one of which is available through McFarlane Press called The Timelines of Terror, which is sort of my channel in a book form. But I also have a book called The 80s Project, which edition number 1 of 1980 is out right now. It's a hardback. And then this is actually exclusive to you guys because I just got this today. Volume 2, The Horror of 1981, is coming very, very, very soon, actually. So that is coming there. You can get those from Amazon. You can get them from Barnes & Noble. You can get them directly from me by emailing me as well, too, on the YouTube channel.
Very cool. You know what? I'll probably, how much are those, if you don't mind me asking?
They are $29.95, and they are hardcovers, about 200 pages each, and full color with pictures and everything. So
I might have to get one of those just to have you sign it too.
Nice.
That's what I was thinking.
Very cool. All right, guys, I do believe that does it for this episode of Conversations with the Mod Squad. So for Josh and Felix, I am Kevin saying, if we don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
See ya.
Bye-bye.